What is going on, hybrid shooters? It's Jason Vong. Just want to make a quick video talking about the Sigma Art 50mm f1.4. Out of all the 3 Sigma lenses that I've tested last month, I felt like the 50mm was among the best and come closest to native performance. It has great autofocus in photo mode, it has the decent autofocus in video mode, and even better manual focus control as opposed to the Sony lenses. Now, if anybody was worried about the Sigma Art FE lenses being fly-by-wire focusing, don't worry, it's still mechanical focusing, so you can get some really precise control over your focusing if you ever need to manual focus with these lenses. When we brought these lenses to Anime Expo to shoot with, again, just out of all the lenses, including the Zeiss lenses, the Sigma Art 50mm was the one that I personally use the most for photos and videos. Now, 50mm is a very versatile focal length. It's not too wide and it's not too tight. You can do a lot with a 50mm, ranging from landscape and street to portraits and headshots. Now, a lot of people were concerned about the size and the weight of the Sigma Art lenses. They felt that Sigma essentially just added the MC11 adapter inside of the lens, making it bigger and heavier. Now, I personally think that's exaggerated. If you actually held the Sigma Art 50 or the Art 35 and compared it to the Zeiss 35 and 50 1.4, they are almost the same. Yes, the Sigma is a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier, but the sizes are very comparable. Can't say the same for the 85 though, because that thing is massive. Also, the autofocus motor noise is much more controlled and much quieter on the FE version as opposed to the EF mount version. So if you're in a toss between a Zeiss 50mm f1.4 or a Sigma Art 50mm 1.4, I would say just go for the Sigma just because of the price. Now, if size is really an issue for somebody, and hey, I get it, the ideals of a mirrorless camera is supposed to be a smaller, lightweight, form factor camera they can bring with you as opposed to carrying a giant, bigger DSLR camera, then I would actually recommend getting the Zeiss 55mm f1.8 and uber ultra lightweight prime lens. Obviously, this is a 1.8 lens. It has fewer stops of light compared to the Sigma Art 50 1.4, but 1.8 is still very good for low light stuff, especially when you combine it with the amazing low light capabilities of the Sony a7III. If you're coming from the kit lens and you're looking to take your content to the next level, seriously consider the Sigma Art 50mm 1.4, but if size is an issue for you, go for the Zeiss 55mm 1.8. Now, I know a lot of my APS-C viewers are watching and they're wondering, should I get the 50mm as well? And to that, I say no, don't get the 50mm for your camera. The reason is, if you put a 50mm on your crop body camera, you're getting roughly an 82.5mm equivalent to a full frame camera. It's gonna be really close, it's gonna be really tight, you're not gonna have too much space to work with. Instead, consider the 35mm focal length instead. That will give you something closer to a 50mm equivalent on a full frame camera. So go for the 35 if you're an APS-C shooter. If you're a full frame shooter, go with the 50 or the 55. Guys, let me know in the comments down below which Sigma Art lens I should try out next. Now, I know a lot of people have been asking about the 105 f1.4. Unfortunately, that's only for the Canon EF and Nikon mount. The FE version is still not available yet, but I definitely do want to test that out once it's out. But let me know in the comments down below which other Sigma Art lenses you want me to check out. Other than that, I have an overview video of the Sigma Art lenses, the 35, the 50, and the 85, and I compare it to the Zeiss and G Master counterpart. So if you haven't watched that yet, go ahead and click right here to catch up. And in case you're interested, I have an update video to the Tamron 20-75. I updated the firmware to see if the autofocusing issue has been resolved. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.